Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back for another video today. Holy crap, y'all. I took one day off and the world just freaking blew up. The world of GLP-1s. So much has happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. And it was like this perfect storm of me getting sick and not being able to do a video or anything really. And all of this stuff happening. So yeah, yesterday I ended up coming down with, I think, a case of food poisoning. We had gotten some wings from a local restaurant here, and the kids, they had all gotten pizza, and I just ate wings for protein and non-breaded wings. And I was the only one that ate the wings, and I was so sick, did not leave my bed at all yesterday. And so because of that, I did not have the energy to film a video, and I missed so much stuff. So we have quite a lot to talk about today. Yesterday, as I was literally laying in bed, Chris was texting me all of these things and all of these articles and was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And oh my gosh, look at this. So yeah, I have a whole topic list of stuff. It's in pencil, you can't really see, that I wrote down so that I made sure I talked about it all and did not miss anything. So we have a lot coming up. We have Zepbound news, we have Ozempic news, we have Orderly Meds news, me backtracking on a mistake or a misspoken that I made. We have some stuff to chat about. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. The first thing I want to talk about, so that I don't forget to say it, is the Facebook group. So I am in Facebook jail. Meaning I cannot access that page, the Facebook page that I use to do the group at all. And what happened was I made a post in the group where I screenshotted this thing. I'll try to remember to put it right here. Where somebody on my personal Facebook page was promoting a natural GLP-1. Basically, the post was like, my friend needs 8 people. If you're not able to afford Ozempic or Wegovy, check this out. And I think that's what got me in trouble. But that girl ain't in trouble, and she's the one that made the post. But anyway, so I screenshotted it and I blocked her name out and I posted it in the group saying, this is ridiculous. There's no natural Ozempic. So essentially what this girl was selling, what her friend was selling, was It Works. Do y'all remember the skinny wrap It Works things where you wrapped yourself and you left it for 5 hours and your stomach was magically smaller and all that? The It Works. Yeah. So now they're selling a natural GLP-1. And so anyway, I posted in there to be like, what the heck? And it got me flagged, and they said it actually was a huge misunderstanding. They said that they thought it was flagged because they thought I was trying to sell non-prescription or prescription drugs without a prescription and without being a provider. And so it offered me the chance to dispute it, which I did. And I was like, y'all totally misunderstood this. Please look into it again. And so they are doing so. But in the meantime, I'm gonna need y'all to hold down the fort because I can't get into it. I know there's been a few of you message me on that page, and it'll let me see the message, but it won't let me respond. So if it looks like I've read your message, I have, but the whole type bar is gone. So yeah, can't do anything on that right now. And yeah, hold down the fort, guys. Play the hard game until I get back. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully it's not very long. I'm waiting on an email response from them. But yeah, I'm in Facebook jail. Sad. It's the first time I've ever been. And I don't even feel like I did nothing. So I didn't even cuss anybody out. I could have done that. I didn't, but okay. Anyway, that's that little update. Y'all hold down the fort over there for me until I get back. Okay, so the big thing that happened within the time period that I was sick is that, as expected, there has been a lawsuit filed by the OFA and a pharmaceutical compounding company in response to the FDA removing semaglutide or Ozempic Wegovy from the drug shortage list. And essentially they filed pretty similar to the one that was filed back in December on tirzepatide. It was filed that they believe that they kind of just listened to the makers of Wegovy, Novo Nordisk, and took their word for it that the shortage was over, and did so without really looking into it further. Pretty much the exact same thing. And also they claim in their lawsuit, which is a little bit different than the lawsuit back in December, that it is cutting patients off directly from affordable access, which money, as much as we want it to be involved, right, in this whole thing, unfortunately, money and the expense of a product has not, up until this point, played any factor at all in whether or not medicines can be compounded. That's just not the way the law is written. It's basically all surrounding shortages and how available the medicine is. And available meaning, is it stocked in pharmacies, not meaning are patients able to afford it. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So they did claim that, although I don't know that that's going to hold a lot of weight because of the fact that unfortunately, money really has no play in it at all. But this is pretty, I mean, I was expecting this, right? When semaglutide was taken off of the market or off of the shortage list last week, I was like, the OFA is going to come in, sweep right in there with a lawsuit, and they have. And the lawsuit for tirzepatide that was filed in December is still ongoing. The OFA is asking for a preliminary injunction, essentially to override what the FDA has said until the full litigation is played out. And so that is still sort of up in the air, and all of those types of things. One difference with the Wegovy Ozempic thing is that the FDA has said that they are going to start issuing citations and all of that sort of thing within that 60 to 90 day time frame. Whereas with tirzepatide, it's kind of currently on hold, as the FDA has said that they will not take any legal action while the lawsuit is still ongoing. Now, the FDA has not responded to the new lawsuit yet in any way, shape, or form. However, it very well could be that they come back and say the same sort of thing, like, while this lawsuit is ongoing, we won't take action, but they have not said that yet. I'm starting to wonder if the whole lawsuit game that the OFA is playing is really just to drag this whole thing out and to allow compounding to be available longer throughout the legal process. I don't know if they're going to win. I hope they win, but I do think that it's a way to buy compounding pharmacies a lot more time to focus on the things that they need to focus on, to get compounded medicines out to patients, hundreds of thousands of patients now that are taking them, and all of that. And so there was some negative effect, obviously, to this as well. One big example, a huge article that's going around, is focusing on the Him and Hers brand, which is the one that had the Super Bowl ad, where they were claiming that, where they basically spent, what was it, like $8 million? I believe that's the cost of a Super Bowl commercial this year, to advertise their compounded weight loss medications. And after the announcement of Wegovy being removed, Him and Hers came out and said that they might end up switching gears and focusing more on other GLP1s, older ones like liraglutide, oral medications, stuff like that. I'm actually wondering if the sublingual drops will become a lot more popular, because that is not an exact copy. There are drop forms of both semaglutide and tirzepatide. In fact, my local pharmacy that I used to get my Mounjaro filled at is actually offering sublingual, not sublingual. Is it sublingual? Yeah, sublingual. Yeah. Ozempic or semaglutide right now, where you just put the drops under your tongue and it absorbs that way. That has not been proven to work as effectively, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a shift to drops, because that, again, is not an exact copy. So anyway, backtracking, Him and Hers came out and said that they were going to start focusing on other options, and their stocks fell by 27% in one day. That is a lot. Him and Hers is sort of the big guys, the big telehealth company, right? And so they are the leading one in America. And so when they come out and, give this like bad news or whatever, bad news in quotations, the investors responded to that. Despite Him and Hers having an amazing year in 2024, like, they're worth billions now at this point. Billions, yes, billions. And so it's kind of wishy-washy. Another thing that Him and Hers, though, has said, I have told y'all, how many times have I said it? I need to go back and do like a montage of all the times I said this. I don't think that compounding is going to be going away. I don't foresee, and again, my opinion, But I don't foresee a world where compounding is not a thing in some way, shape, or form. I think that they're going to add things. I've been told by Orderly Meds, who I go through, that their 503A pharmacies plan to add different things like Red Rock and Hallandale and all of that, plan to add like B12 or niacinamide or whatever to help or alter dosages. Mochi Health has said that they are going to be altering dosages. They put that out a long time ago, where their dosages are all off from the mainstream dosages. And so there's going to be a lot of ways, I think, that the pharmacies are going to try to remain compliant within this whole structure of the world. I think that they have invested, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, they have invested so much time, so many resources, so much money, and they've made so much money off of compounded tirzepatide and compounded semaglutide that I said before, they're not going to lay down and take it and just go off unless they absolutely have to. Like, they're going to try everything they can until humanly possible, right? I think that the structure will change, like with your telehealth company, whether or not they are, when you are checking in or signing up for them for the first time or whatever, like, I think that there's I don't know this, my brain's just thinking different ways that you'll be able to list different side effects that you're having or problems that you had on a specific dose or what have you. And the doctor will have to actually spend some more time to make this compounded version for you that is not the same necessarily as your friend down the street, or you guys, mine might be different than yours. You know what I'm saying? I think that the process might get a little bit slower while they are trying to figure all of that out. But in the meantime, this is all like hearsay, right? Because in the meantime, they've said that they're not going to issue anything. So new lawsuit. It's interesting that the OFA is going to, go after that. I have heard that I know that Eli Lilly also is going to fight ridiculously hard. And because of what Novo Nordisk has seen Eli Lilly do, they're also going to do the same thing. And, they've got a lot of expensive lawyers on staff that, rest assured, will be ready to issue lots of cease and desist letters the very date the FDA says that they're able to. And so I think they're doing it already anyway. So yeah, you guys know that I love compounded medication. I love GLP1 medications no matter where you get it from. And I just want everybody to have access to it. And that is what I'm rooting for. Access for all is what I am rooting for. With that being said, the Zepbound vials that I spoke about the other day, I mentioned that they had released 7.5 and 10 milligram dosages in vials now, and in order to get them at the lower prices of $4.99 and $5.99, you have to check in within 45 days. And if not, then it goes up to $5.99 and $6.99 respectively. What I did not mention in that video, which I wanted to go back on and correct, was that they did also lower the cost of the 2 lower dosages, and those dosages do not have the required 45-day check-in thing on them. So for 2.5, you can now get it for $3.49 per month. And for 5 milligram, you can now get it for $4.99 no matter how often you check in. So I guess if you're somebody that stays on 2.5 forever, like Chris has been, then you could get the 5 milligram and split it over a longer amount of time. Although they don't recommend doing that. They even recommend, I saw somebody in some group talking about how it was my group, the paperwork with your Eli Lilly prescription even says, like, if there's a little bit left in your vial, to throw it away. Like, it tells you not to use it and to throw it away. So obviously they don't want you doing that. But with the 5 milligram, that is possible, I guess, if you are staying on the 2.5 milligram dosage, and even the 2.5 milligram if you are somebody who is microdosing and taking a very small amount or whatever. So wanted to correct that. And then the last big thing that I wanted to correct is actually something that I spoke about probably 2 weeks ago. And I realized my mistake probably a week ago. And I have been mulling over what to do, if I should talk about it or not. And I decided that this is probably the most appropriate option. So let me explain. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video talking about how compounding is not going away, which I still think is true, but how pharmacies, 503A pharmacies will be able to sell 503B stock for a long period of until the bud date has expired. And I misspoke a little bit on how that process would have to work. So I was informed through Orderly, which this is something that they have actually not announced to their customer base yet. I was told through an affiliate group, through the affiliate manager, and she has since come back to me and emailed me and said, hey, I think I spoke too prematurely, and I don't think this is something we're telling all the customers yet. But at this point, I already put it out in the world 3 weeks ago, and thousands of people have seen that video. And so I think the only thing to do, I can't backtrack on that because it is true that I've heard and all of that, but I can correct the mistake that I had within the video. So not all 503A pharmacies will be able to ship 503B I guess they all could. Okay. The caveat within all that is that the telehealth company has to pre-purchase all of the stock. So essentially, it's not, in the case of Orderly, it's Perfect RX and Pro RX. It's not Perfect RX purchasing the stock from Pro RX. It's Orderly purchasing the stock from Pro RX and just having the 503A ship it. So in this situation, the medicine has already been purchased. The financial exchange has already happened from Orderly. And so when you as the customer are paying, you're paying Orderly and you're not paying the pharmacy. You get what I'm saying? So it's this loophole, I guess, that has been found, but I did kind of make it seem like in that because I totally misread the thing, and I was pointed out to me by somebody in the regular Orderly Facebook group. Like, I don't think that's true. And so I went and looked on the FDA, and then I went back and read the post by the affiliate manager, and I was like, oh, yep, got that. Misspoke on that a little bit, so I need to correct it. So yeah, it's if the telehealth company pre-purchases in bulk all of the medicine, that's where the loophole lies. Now, I don't think that Orderly has announced it yet because of the current ongoing lawsuit. And so it's just a matter of time of like when they have to pre-purchase all of that. And they don't want to say now that they're pre-purchasing a bunch and the bud dates are going to be in August if they're allowed to have business as usual through like say May, and then they can pre-purchase in May and it would be a longer bud date. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important to note. I can't backtrack now on what I was told, because I still was told it and it's still true. It's just that it wasn't released yet. And so, yeah, but Orderly is still, as always, shipping. They are my absolute lifesaver in this whole thing because I've been able to get my medicine and never had a shortage issue, never had a problem. If you want to check out Orderly Meds, there is always a link down below. They still have their starter program going on where you can get semaglutide, a 3-month starter for $299, and the tirzepatide for $599. So it's $199 per month. And then if you are a customer with them already, they have the loyalty program where you build up a loyalty discount every time you purchase up to 25%. So for me, since I've been with them for over a year now and been purchasing from them, I am at a 25% discount. So for example, my tirzepatide at $399 a month is $299 a month. So with no recurring monthly fee. So I love Orderly. Check them out if you're interested in a compounded version or a brand name version. They sell that as well. You can get a prescription for that, again, with no monthly service charge, an ongoing service charge or whatever. So that's, I think, everything that I wanted to talk about today. I know this is a longer video, but there was a lot to say. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Have you had any issue getting your meds, whether it be Zepbound or Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, whatever? Have you run into shortage issues lately? I'm considering, let me know what your thoughts are on this, doing a video where I call like tons of pharmacies and like all over the country and just kind of inquire and see what they're having to say. Would you be interested in that? Like I could film myself calling and what the pharmacist says and all that. I think that could be quite telling and quite interesting. Let me know what your thought is on that, if that would be something that you'd be interested in. So yeah. Okay. That's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you're moving your body today. I am not moving my body today because of the fact that I was so depleted yesterday from throwing up and having diarrhea all day. That I just feel like I need to allow my body to rest and regain some energy and put some fuel in it and all of that. I didn't even eat anything yesterday. I drank some Gatorade and that was it. So I need to not exercise today, but let me know how you're moving your body. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on Monday and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye guys.